Guys, this is Team Skittles bringing you a new deck profile on Yagas, the WorldTree. He does not have a J ruler side, for those of you that don't know what it is. Pretty much the way this ruler works, when you are dealt damage and your life points be going to 0, they go to 100 instead, and then you get to play 2 cards from your deck. One is Avatar of the Seven Lands Alice. The other one is Blade of the Seven Lands Excalibur X. We'll explain those here in a second. So essentially this is just a stall ruler to prevent you from dying quick from those aggro decks. So now we'll explain Alice. Alex is a 6/15/15 drop with quick cast and target attack. And it also has the effect that if you would be dealt damage, is dealt to this card instead. So when it's summoned off the tree, there's an additional 1500 life just off of this one card. But then, just for a side note, when our Excalibur X comes out, this is a 3 void drop. If you play it yourself, you can no longer be targeted by card effects. So like Thunder, Scorn of Dark Alice, or anything no longer work for you to be targeted. And then your Avatar, your 7 lands, gets 4/4, so it becomes a 19/19. And also, the last ability states that Alice can no longer be targeted by card effects unless your opponent wants to pay 2 more additional void mana. So, targeting becomes a pain in the ass. And the variant of the tree deck we're doing is fairies. So our first fairy is the Moonbreeze fairy. She's a 1-drop 3/2 with flying, because pretty much every fairy has flying, and you can tap a moon to give all fairies you control 2/2 till the end of the turn, but you can only use this effect once per turn. Then we play 2 Wind Sprites. This is tap 1/2 drop with no flying on it, but you tap it to create a light stone, so mana ramp for you. Then we play 4 of our water fairies, which is a 1/2/3 drop with flying. When this card enters the field, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a fairy, add it to your hand. We play about over 20 fairies, so you have pretty consistent plays for that. You also have the Black Moon Fairy. This is a 1/2/2 with flying, but whenever this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, or banished from the field, you get to add a fairy from your graveyard back to your hand. So there's some recycle for you. Always comes in handy. We play 4 Light Sprites. This is a 1/2/3 drop with flying, and you can tap to gain 100 life for every fairy you control. So you get a couple of these out on board, you can start stacking and gaining life, especially with the tree. If you have an Alice on board, that will become very significant. We also play 4 Flame Sprites. This is a 1-drop with a 1/2/3 drop resonator with flying and swiftness, and it has a tap ability to deal 100 damage to a resonator for every fairy you control. So that can either be very fast attacking or very consistent damage. We play 3 Alan the Fairy. She's a 2/4/4 drop with flying and the awakening ability to search protection of the fairies, but we only side decking because this main deck we're kind of just working on trying to kill the opponent as fast as we can. So we just play attack ram cards, which is her last effect is all of the fairy resonators on your board gain 200 attack. And now for our last fairy of the day, we play Vivian, the Lady of the Lake. She's a 3-drop 5/7 with flying and the tap ability to summon a 1-drop fairy resonator from your hand. And whenever a fairy resonator enters the field, including herself, all fairy resonators will gain 2/2. So if you summon 4 fairies after she's on board, everything gains 8/8. Or no matter how many times you double up on that effect. Then our last few cards for the deck for the day is Wallow In, pretty standard 1-drop card for green decks. Cancel a target spell unless your opponent wants to pay an additional mana, but if they're tapped out, then obviously it gets cancelled with these. We play 2 Category Proclamations. We play a few weenies with our Giant Alice, so when you're being dealt damage, this works great with Alice because you can prevent the damage while giving her counters to gain some additional defense and attack power. And just where we don't want Alice and stuff in the hand, this comes in handy. It's our Foment of the WorldTree. It's a 2-drop spell enchant that you can put back any number of cards back on the bottom of your deck, draw back the same number of cards plus an additional 1, and gain 800 life points. So you can keep your hands pretty consistent that way. For our stone lineup, we play multicolor, so we gotta play almost all color stones. So first we play the Magic Stone of the Moonshade. We can pay 200 life to create a color, and where you play the Life Gain Fairy, so you can simply recover back from this very easily. Then we play 4 Fairy Memorias. If you have a fairy in hand, you reveal the fairy. It doesn't come in rested. If you don't have a fairy, it comes in rested. You can tap it to produce a light, or you can tap it to produce any color but moon for fairies. And it also has the third tap ability that you can tap a light plus this card to give a fairy resonator 200. That can come very handy if you have nothing you really want to summon right away, but you want to get some extra damage. Then we play 1 Moonbreeze Memoria just for an extra moon cast for our Moonbreeze Fairy. And then just for our last stone, we play a nice Light Windstone, just that way we have 1 extra stone that we can use for dual colors. Other than that, guys, this is our fairy deck profile with the WorldTree. Any comments or questions below? Comment, subscribe, check out our other deck profiles. Other than that, guys, have a good day.